Hey there, fellow social media marketers, Professor Walters here, and today we're here in Bratislava, Slovakia, and today we're going to talk about are the types of social media analytics. Now, there are a lot of different analytics you can use, I mean literally thousands of different metrics you can use, but what I want to give you is kind of the overall general, like 4 areas that your analytics are going to fit into to help you make decisions, help you make choices, help you know what should I publish, what I shouldn't publish, what markets we should go to. So I want to kind of go through that. And there's kind of 4 basics ones I want to go for, and as you go along you get more information, more insight, and then you can make better decision making, okay? And so the first kind of analytics we have are what are called descriptive analytics. These basically tell you what happened, right? What happened out there, right? The second one is what we call diagnostic analytics, and these are the ones that kind of tell you why did it happen. So what happened, why did it happen, and then next we move into what are called predictive analytics, and the predictive say, hey, what will happen in the future, and then you have prescriptive, which is the 4th level. This is the most advanced one. This is when you're looking at, hey, what would be the best thing to do? What would be the best thing to happen in this? So how can I make the best outcome come? So basically you're starting with a little bit of information. Hey, I got some views here, I got some likes, what is that? And then diagnostic, hey, why did they like it? And then predictive, hey, which ones we think we're gonna like? And then when we're looking at prescriptive, this is what we should do to get the most views and the most money and the most conversions kind of thing, right? So you kind of look at it that way. So now that I gave you the overview, let's go into each one of these individually, okay? So if we're looking at descriptive analytics, that is the what happened kind of things. It tells you, gives you a snapshot of what your site has been doing. So it'll tell you the views, the likes, the shares, the followers you have. Really gives you an idea of a sense of what happened in terms of what's here. Okay, that video got 100,000 views. That video got 10,000 views. That video got 900 comments. That one got 90 comments. It just gives you the flat information what happened. Because we have to have information, we have to have that data to really kind of start to figure out what happened. So we have all these kind of descriptive analytics. What was our June views like? What are our May views like? What are our March views like? It gives you an idea of what happened. So you have those, and those are the basic kind of things. These are things that are going to give you an idea, because you're going to use these things to help you understand your audience better, but you got to start collecting that data. See, we start with this just descriptive stuff, okay? Providing that snapshot of our typical views, typical likes, these kind of things, right? So you have that. Now from there, once we have these kind of descriptive analytics, now we want to go deeper, and we're going to go into that diagnostic analytics, okay? And so the diagnostic really tells you why did it happen. Okay, this is so we had videos on visiting Bratislava, and they got 100,000 views and 100,000 likes, but we got a video about going to Prague that only got 50,000. So we start to look and say, what happened? What are the things that are there? And we might see that, we posted a Bratislava video when Bratislava was hosting the World Championships of ice hockey, so a lot of people from Finland and everyone started to watch it. Whereas I put out the video on going to the Czech Republic in November when, and people are usually not traveling at that time, and overall those are not really good view months for us for our travel channels. Like, okay, I'm starting to see certain things. But what you're gonna look for, like what kind of analytics do I look for here? You might look at drops in engagement. Okay, or increased engagement, right? Hey, that got a lot more comments than usual. That one got a lot more downvotes than usual. Why was that? Why did that happen? It could be for my travel stuff. It could be the destination I'm at. It could be the comments I make. Like if I say something like, the Czech Republic is better in ice hockey than Slovakia, of course, I'm gonna get a lot of downvotes and a lot of negative comments on my Slovakia videos. But if I did it in a Czech video, they'd be very happy about that. So you start to look at these things. So you look for those drops, look for those spikes in negative comments or positive comments that are out there. Also, you might look at your reach. How far is it getting out there? Because remember, YouTube, Instagram, what they do is they show you like your stuff first to your biggest fans, like your mom, the people that always watch your content. And then they send it to the second set and they base, hey, if those people are watching, then we're going to expand it out more. And if they like it, then we're going to expand the reach out even more. So you might see is, hey, what did we do in that video that really got more people to like it to expand its reach? Or what did we do in that video so people didn't watch it? I know for myself, when I look at diagnostic analytics, I'll look and see if I put a video out about a popular city or country in Europe, I know like, hey, it's probably gonna have a big jump in engagement, a jump in views. However, if I put it in for a small country, like I'm doing videos in Montenegro and Albania, those aren't as popular places. They're probably not gonna get as many views. But also I know if I do videos on Latin America, South America, they get very few views when I put it out there. Why is that? Well, less tourists go to South America than Europe. And so the algorithm knows that, so if it knows I'm putting out a video about a country in South America, they're not gonna show it as many people, because the numbers show that people like to watch the Europe videos from our travel stuff. So that's one of those things you're gonna kind of learn from that and kind of understand and diagnose from it. Like, okay, if I want to get a lot of views, I need to do Paris and Munich and London. If I just wanna help people travel, I can do South America, but I won't be able to pay my bills. And so what we do with this diagnostic is we really use it to really help us identify the causes behind the trends, behind these anomalies, so we can be prepared for it, so you can make better choices later on of the content you make, or maybe the content when you put it out there. And that diagnostic analytics really leads right into the predictive analytics. This is what basically what's likely to happen next. So the analytics you want to look for with these predictive ones, one, your forecasting reach, like how far do we think this one's going to go out, right? So I know if I put out a Germany video during Oktoberfest, a lot more people are talking about Germany at that time, so it's more likely it's going to spread out farther because it's a topical topic when it comes out, versus if I put out a winter travel video in the middle of July, look, predictably no one's going to want to watch that. It's not relevant to them, so the reach is going to be a lot less, and so you're going to kind of think about that. Also, you might think about engagement projections. What's going to get people to like comment? And I know that might be like, hey, it could be based on the topic of video. I know if I put out a don'ts of a country or don'ts of a city video, that gets people to really comment. Or if I put in things that annoy the locals when you travel, I know that's gonna get a lot of comments, right? However, if I put a video in about, hey, jet lag that's happened, not a lot of people tell their jet lag stories. And so we kind of have an idea, we kind of predict what's gonna happen by the content we put out based on the analytics we have. So we wanna kind of project, use that forecasting reach, engagement projections, also kind of the sentiment trends, what's popular that time. That is the summer travel, summertime, people wanna talk about summer travel, not winter. Oh, they wanna talk about Ireland when it comes into March because of St. Patrick's Day. You kind of use those things to kind of predict how things are gonna go. Also, you might look at the timing when it's gonna be there, like when's a good time, also during the day. These kind of things kind of predict what will probably happen. There's no guarantee, but it gives you a better idea. That's why you don't upload your YouTube videos and Instagram videos, at 1 o'clock in the morning, because everybody's asleep. If you want to get people, you can predict, oh yes, if I put a food picture out during lunchtime, I'm more likely to get a lot more likes than I put it out at 10 o'clock at night, right? So you kind of look at these things and kind of predict based on what happened before to have those forecasts, okay? And that leads into the prescriptive analytics. So what should you do about it? Now, we've kind of led into all this, that descriptive kind of stuff gives you an idea of what happened. We have that, and the diagnostic, why it happened, predictive, what we think will happen, and now let's put it together through the analytics that really will pay off and give us a little bang for our buck. We're gonna use that one. So what should we do about it, and all these things we're gonna do. So here's where you're gonna put in your content recommendations. So this might be, hey, it's summer travel, I want to put out summer travel videos. Or it's, the beginning of the year, people want to have a new body, new you, right? New year, new you. So if I want to put out like health-based content, or if I want to, hey, start your own new business, become financially independent, I shouldn't put that out in August because nobody's doing anything. We're like, I'm just lazy bum sitting by the pool. But in January, when we all want to be bigger and better and make more money kind of stuff, that might be a better time to put it out there. So that would be a good prescription. Hey, for example, Professor Walter's video. I know I could have the funniest, awesomest teaching video ever. If I put it out between May and August, nobody watches because no one's thinking about teaching at a time. So hey, I'll start that out September 1st when everybody's talking about back to school, right? So you have those things. So other things you want to look at, best times to post. Now remember, we can base on what happened before, so we can look and see, hey, what's there? And if you're looking at your heat map on YouTube or Facebook, they'll tell you when your audience is there, that's gonna be the best time to post. Also, you can look at suggested ad targeting. Yeah, you can say, hey, who should I go for? Who should I, offer a deal to? I mean, think about it. Have you ever gone on eBay and looked at something a few times, then oddly enough, like 3 days later, a day later, maybe you get an email saying, oh, you have a 10% discount offer on that product on eBay, because they know that, hey, based on this, we can predict this person tends to buy the deal. So if we offer them that 10% deal, they're probably gonna buy it again because they went and looked at that product 7 times. They want it, but the price is obviously too high. Let's give them that little incentive. We can try to predict they might buy it. So you might do that. So what we do with this prescriptive analytics, it really is all about providing actionable insights. So everything else is just giving us more and more information, giving us, it goes from like data, then into information, then it gives us start to have insights. We look at the predictive nature and diagnostic, the insights like, oh, why do these things happen? And now we can look at making more innovations and doing things and changing things and making things in this prescriptive analytics part, okay? So this is just a big overview. There's a lot of other analytics, like individual metrics that go into these, but I just want to kind of give an overview of those types of social media analytics so you can see where am I at in my journey, or where's the business at in their journey, and we can start it so we can build up a better social media platform, better social media posts by using all these analytics to help us out, all right? So I hope this helps you know a bit more about social media analytic types. If you want to learn more, hit subscribe. We put out tons of helpful marketing videos from all over the world and sometimes my office. Anyway, bye from here in Bratislava.